What a time to be alive for the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are 6-2, just pulled off a nice win over the Arizona Cardinals today. Get in that comment section, spam W, to celebrate that Ravens win, tied for the best record in the AFC. And we'll get started with today's show with a look at the latest Baltimore Ravens trade rumors. The trade deadline coming up tomorrow. We will find out in less than 24 hours if the Ravens will make one more additional move or not to better their roster as we head into the second half of 2023. And there's multiple reports over the last few days that the Ravens have been on the phones, that they have reached out to see about potential moves that they could make, whether it be the running back position, maybe edge rusher, maybe on the offensive line, a lot of possibilities of what Baltimore could do tomorrow. John Harbaugh weighed in today saying this about a potential move. What level of need is what it comes down to. Do we have a specific overarching have-to-have guy? No. We have an excellent roster. I love our guys. I think we have everything we need to be successful. Don't listen to a damn word what John Harbaugh says. He is saying what he needs to say about his guys and giving his vote of confidence. He's not going to play his hand ahead of time. If the Ravens are making a trade, they're not going to say publicly, yeah, we're making a trade, because all of a sudden the price tag goes up. So I'm not buying what Harbaugh said at all. If they're going to make a move, he's going to say exactly what he just said and mean the opposite. Say one thing and do another. Cam Marino, NFL Insider, had this to say about the Ravens' position going into the trade deadline. Two defensive line nuggets as we near the NFL trade deadline. The Ravens are a team to watch. As a trade partner for Montez Sweat, the Seahawks have been connected to Carl Lawson. Jets definitely trading him. Seahawks already made a move, by the way, for Leonard Williams. Of course, the Ravens play them this upcoming weekend. Montez Sweat, now we're talking. Okay, I can work with a little Montez Sweat. That intrigues me. I'll tell you more about Montez Sweat in just a second. We'll go over his resume, his statistics, potential trade package, all of that. So don't go anywhere. Answer this question first. And I mean it. Answer this question. Stop whatever you're doing. Tell me what you think. Should the Ravens trade for Montez Sweat? Or pin comment today. Y for yes, in for no. Should they bring him in or not? Let us know what you think. Now, more about Montez Sweat. Former first-round pick out of Mississippi State. Mississippi. In his career, we have seen over the stretch of the last several seasons, every season of his career, he has been the mark of consistency. At least 5 sacks in every season of his career. 67 career starts, 67 games played. So a guy that's been dependable, not just when it comes to being healthy and being on the football field, but also being a reliable playmaker as well. And Montez Sweat so far in 2023 is looking awesome. You could argue he's off to the best start of his career right now. Through 7 games, averaging 6.5 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles. Year prior to that, he had 8 sacks, 5 sacks in 2021, and then 2020 had 9 sacks. Montez Sweat, as the kids say, he is him. And it ain't going to be cheap to bring in a player of Montez Sweat's caliber. This is what we're talking about here. This might be too much for some people, but this is probably what it's going to take. A 2024 first-round pick and a 2024 third-round pick to get this deal done. Do you want to give those folks across the way in Maryland, in Landover, a first-round pick and a third-round pick to bring Montez Sweat in? Is it worth it to you, or is that too much? That's a question the Ravens have to ask heading into tomorrow. Will the Ravens make a trade at all, whether it's a Montez Sweat or somebody else out there? Weigh in the comment section. Tell me what you think. What are your expectations for trade deadline day tomorrow? T for trade, P for pass. Let me know what you think if the Ravens make a move or not. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is daily fantasy made easy. And Prize Picks is very easy to do, folks. You pick two or more players, and it's real simple. They give you a given prop, whether it be, let's say, completions, rushing yards, receptions, rushing attempts, whatever it may be, and then you choose more or less on any given number. So Monday Night Football tonight, I'm rolling with Jared Goff to have more than his given pass completions amount, which is 23.5. Josh Jacobs, I'm going less than 62.5 rushing yards. And if you played Price Picks with me last week, we won money together. We can do the same this week. If these two hit, we're turning $20 into $60. So stop whatever you're doing. Go to PricePicks.com/CLNS. Link is in the comments and description of today's video. Use the promo code CLNS, and they'll give you a $100 deposit match. Play along with us tonight. PricePicks.com/CLNS. The link is in the comments and the descriptions of today's video. Promo code CLNS. Now, think about this. Where the Ravens are at, 6-2, a lot of reason to be optimistic, right? And it's not just about getting in the playoffs or winning the division. It's about winning the whole thing, right? And if you're the Baltimore Ravens, you need to think about, okay, what do I need to do to compete with the rest of the AFC? So if you look at the standings in the AFC, Chiefs, Dolphins, Jags, Ravens, all have the same record. But based on tiebreakers and all that, the Ravens would be on the bottom end of things as the 4 seed right now. And so that's frustrating, right? I mean, the Ravens, you have to figure out, okay, what can we do to separate ourselves? Because you're trying to compete with the Dolphins, the Jags, the Bills, the Bengals, among the best in the AFC because you want to compete for that Lombardi trophy, right? I mean, the North looks pretty good right now. When you compare to teams like Pittsburgh, the Browns, Bengals, all that, they're at 4-3. You're at 6-2. All that looks good. But your goals are not the division. You have higher goals than that, and that's to put your best foot forward and be one of the elite teams in the AFC. That's what you're trying to prove at this point. And I look at the pass rush. Pass rush is really good for the Ravens right now. Matabuke with 6.5 sacks, Clowney 3.5, Queen 3.5, Van Noy with 3, Hamilton with 3. I mean, the off-season additions of Clowney and Van Noy look really good right now. All that sounds fine and dandy. But then you have to ask yourself, this group can still do more. They can take another step forward, and that's what Montez Sweat could potentially do with this group. Let's take a look at the Ravens depth chart right now. Montez Sweat would slide in, and all of a sudden you're talking about having a really nice rotation. You put Matabuke on one side, Sweat on the other, and all of a sudden, I mean, you're talking about cooking with bacon grease on this Ravens team. That's the type of impact. It would be lethal, and it would be like the Ravens defenses that we think about that have made this franchise what it is today. If the Ravens make a move, we're going to break it down here on the channel. You better believe it. We're doing daily news and rumors talking about your Baltimore Ravens. We're also doing live shows for some of the marquee games throughout the season. We have our interactive mailbags. If you love the Baltimore Ravens, this is the channel for you. And we're getting very close to 13,000 subscribers. Sub for Ravens Dubs. Celebrate that Ravens win yesterday and subscribe to the channel now. Push us over the top. Help us get there now. Subscribe now for free. If I'm Eric DeCosta and I go to bed tomorrow night, I don't want to sit there and say to myself, I did not do everything I could to put a championship caliber roster together for this Ravens team. You might have John Harbaugh saying, hey, we like our guys and this is a good team and all that. We feel comfortable. But did you do everything you were supposed to do? Did you put your best effort and your best foot forward? And if I'm Eric DeCosta, I think I got to make a move tomorrow if I'm going to be able to sleep at night and feel okay about this team going forward. Look, Ravens are first in the league in sacks per game, 3.9. 25 sacks in the last 5 games. This group has been really good. But don't settle. Settle for more, as the great Megyn Kelly would say. Before we go, we're talking trade deadline. I mentioned Montez Sweat as a possibility. Obviously, there's others out there. Name a player the Ravens should trade for tomorrow. Who do you want to see the Ravens make a move for? Let us know in the comments section, and I'll see you tomorrow right here on Ravens Rundown.